Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. In this, me and a girlfriend saw on the television news and we're both laughing because we both have pets, and a lot of you guys, my subscribers and viewers, and even some of my viewers that even some of you, I imagine there's a few of you that don't even like me and you're subscribed to me because you don't like me or whatever. Maybe a couple of you have a pet and you guys probably disagree with this too and think it's just funny shit, and you should. Anyway, it made the news that our newest pope was actually quoting the funniest shit that he was quoting, and stupidest shit that was coming out of his pie hole. The stupid shit that I ever heard come out of anybody's pie hole. He's telling people, calling upon people to, I guess, if I don't have to quote exactly right, but I guess you can find maybe samples on YouTube, or if you have YouTube channels where you subscribe to whatever your local television news has a YouTube channel, but get a sample of his exact quotes. But he's speaking against people who are, quote, raising pets instead of children. And that he evidently sees something wrong with that. And then reality, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, speaking against people who are raising pets instead of having children, making children, yeah, that's what I think. But anyway, reality of is, why the hell was people want to keep making children because some pope or anybody in a religion or preacher, even anybody secular, says that something's wrong with you, you're spiritually or morally or mentally deranged because you don't want to make babies, and you're having pets. Pets are, don't get me wrong, some of you guys that have kids, nothing wrong with kids, but this pope's an asshole. Plain and simple. I mean, why the hell you want to breed more victims? Okay, to me, I don't know about what you guys think, but I think it makes more sense to adopt a kid. There's plenty out there to adopt. I was listening to Henry Rollins' CD called Everything, and he had made a quote on there: people with their children pregnant and their children being trailing them behind them, why keep making kids? You saying something, adopt one. There's plenty that need homes or whatever. The exact quote or whatever too, a very sarcastic one, but as long as you don't get ones like the Melendez brothers or whatever that tried to kill their parents or whatever. I mean, there's pros and cons in it, but you can even adopt babies. There's so damn many out there to adopt. Why the hell would you want to, in this day and age, the way the world is, to start making more babies? Even the ones that are nice to me, that I know that seem like nice people, I look at them being polite, but it's just like a heavy sigh. I mean, like, it may sound negative, but look at world hunger and poverty. Look how much poverty there is in the world, in this country and other countries, and why the hell would you want to breed more victims? And not a good idea. People telling people to make more babies, won't they? Geez, a pope, a dumbass as he is, and he just doesn't see like all the poverty in the world, that there's kids that you can't even feed already, and telling people to make more kids or whatever. At the very least, he should be telling them instead to adopt. You adopt a pet, and you can adopt a kid just like you adopt a pet. Why make more? I mean, there's barely enough of food to feed people as it is. Some of us are luckier than others. And some people that have really good paying jobs, all of a sudden they made these kids and have these credit cards and cars, and then they made these kids, and all of a sudden they went from prosperity to poverty, and the kids growing up poor. And yeah, but just keep telling people to make more babies. And I, for one, like I said, nothing against kids, don't get me wrong. Some of you guys out there, probably my subscribers, you probably have probably kids, and they're wonderful. But I think that video, you want to look it up, look up Garfunkel and Oates, Pregnant Women Are Smug, the Because You're Pregnant song. I think that song's hilarious. I mean, I'm not like I have a real disdain for kids. I just have a disdain for idiots who are telling people to breed more victims, okay? And I just can't stand breeders. People don't want to make kids assuming that they're always going to be able to afford all these kids, and that they're not going to end up with a lesser job or whatever, or even just plain old making more kids that when they already know they can't afford them. But yeah, that song, look it up, Garfunkel and Oates, Pregnant Women Are Smug. I call it the Because You're Pregnant song. I think the damn song is hilarious. Yeah, if any of you guys out there take a look at that YouTube video that I just mentioned, and if you think it's funny and all that, people are going to think you're some kind of asshole because you think that kind of humor is funny, and just it's just like I said, Pope should be telling people to stop breeding victims and encourage people to adopt. I mean, with all the poverty in this world, and if you have a good paying job and you can afford it, and that's even debatable, making kids, and adopting them is a gamble because you don't always know how they're going to turn out any more than knowing if they're going to turn out good or bad if you make one yourself, But I think I imagine it's probably more painful and more anguish too, that a child that actually, for a woman, that a child that actually did come out of them, the kid to grow up and turn up bad, that's going to be more painful for them than an adopted kid too, and a lot of adopted kids turn out a lot better. Some of them turn out bad, some of them turn out good, but anyway, who in the hell is he, a pope or any person of authority, any preacher, to tell people, to imply at all that they're a lesser a person spiritually? They're like, to imply at all, even though he ain't outright saying that, he's just calling people to start breeding, start raising children instead of raising pets. But I know what the hell people like him and people I've ran into that I worked as co-workers, both women and men, the ones that criticized me for having long hair and having a good paying job along with them, and not going out and buying a house and getting somebody pregnant, getting married and making a bunch of kids, and then and you're some kind of selfish person or mentally and morally deranged because you have money in your pocket and single. Or and they think any woman too, it's even worse for them that they stay single and they're not ready to get with anybody yet. They're like, their purpose in life is supposed to get pregnant. It's okay for them to work, but don't spend money on themselves or whatever. And maybe they want to get a dog or cat instead or whatever the hell. Who the hell is anybody to dictate? Even though they act like you're not dictating, I can see what they're getting at, what they're applying, what they're implying, what they're suggesting. Stupidest, like, I like to, I'm gonna slip in a little audio file of what I actually think here. Hold on and give a listen.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah, really.
Anyway, that's what we should all be saying to that Pope. So anyway, that's my thoughts. That's the end of this video. See you next time.